Sniper Elite 5 review: deadly, but clumsy. When the Sniper Elite series first appeared some 17 years ago, few could have predicted the upward trajectory the series would take. Remasters, zombie-themed spin-offs, a VR experience, and now 5 mainline entries. What started as a relatively linear series that relied heavily on its brutal X-ray kill cams has blossomed into something entirely more substantial. Whilst Sniper Elite 5 doesn't feel as impactful as some of its predecessors in terms of providing a drastic jump forward for the series, it still manages to be the best entry in the series yet due to its focus on meaningfully refining and building upon the already solid foundations of Sniper Elite 4. It's 1944, and we find ourselves once again strapping up the boots of Carl Fairburn, right around the time that the Second World War starts to slip through the fingers of the Axis forces. With an Allied push on mainland Europe set to take place imminently, it falls on Carl's shoulders to push behind enemy lines and weaken Axis defenses in anticipation of the Allied assault. Things ultimately go south, and Carl finds himself stranded in France, which is still under Nazi occupation, and it's there that he learns of the existence of Operation Kraken. Operation Kraken is an ultra-confidential Nazi operation that could see them once more turn the tides of war back in their favor. So it falls on Carl to push further across France, learn more about Operation Kraken, and hopefully put an end to the Nazis' last gasp attempt at domination. I'll be honest, there's no denying that the narrative setup for Sniper Elite 5 treads a lot of familiar ground. It's admittedly well written, and Carl, as well as the supporting cast, are all engaging characters, but I'd be lying if I said the plot didn't quickly become background noise, given how recycled the various tropes all feel. It's ground we've covered in numerous games across numerous franchises, and unfortunately, Sniper Elite 5's narrative beats can't help but suffer because of this. As formulaic as the story can feel, this series has become known for its visceral stealth combat and its ruthlessly satisfying sniping action. Thankfully, Sniper Elite 5 provides the most robust and immersive Nazi-busting action in the series to date. As I alluded to at the top, Sniper Elite 5 is more of a refinement than a reinvention. Players are again dropped into massive, sprawling levels, handed the main objective, and given very little else in terms of direction. As you explore a level, side objectives will become available, as will members of Carl's kill list, high-ranking Nazis who can be taken out but are entirely optional. As with the main objectives, minimal direction is given in how you approach the side objectives. You'll be told what you need to do, but how you reach and achieve your goals is often entirely up to the player. How you will stumble across additional goals feels incredibly organic. One mission saw me tasked with taking out a radar tower as part of the critical story path. Deciding to skirt the coast of the island on my way to the main objective, I stumbled across a cluster of enemy-occupied bunkers that I was advised should be taken out. Later, whilst exploring a small coastal village at the bottom of a mountain, I inadvertently ran into a high-value target from Carl's kill list that sat out front of a heavily fortified church in an armored vehicle. It makes the levels feel like living, breathing worlds, designed to reward curiosity and those willing to venture off the beaten path. The organic feel of Sniper Elite 5's levels is only enhanced further by the flexibility with which you can approach your targets. Taking the kill list targets as an example, like Hitman's mission. Stories, you're given a suggested way to take out your foe. That doesn't mean for 1 minute, though, that you're locked into that method. You can get as creative as you like, with Sniper Elite 5 quickly becoming a sandbox within which the player can create their own memorable stories and set pieces. One of the unfortunate souls on my hit list happened to be surrounded by a small army, all stationed at different locations in the surrounding village I was in. Had I just gone for the kill and taken out the primary target, the commotion would have been immense and would have made escaping a bit of a nightmare. With that in mind, I proceeded to take cover in a nearby graveyard overlooking the target's vehicle and pinged one solitary shot off the side of said vehicle. With the attention of Nazis now solely focused on the noise I created, they circled the car and my target, allowing me to loop around to an alleyway from which I was then able to roll a grenade under the vehicle, detonating it, my target and the surrounding enemies. It's incredibly satisfying seeing your master plan come together, and the malleable nature of how you approach your objectives extends to the main story missions as well. Multiple approach points exist for most objectives, as do various options for completing them. It's a game constantly asking you to survey your environment and weigh up the pros and cons of the various choices on offer, with the ripple effect of said choice often having ramifications for how the rest of the mission plays out. It goes without saying then that Sniper Elite 5 is a title that oozes replayability, with its diverse sandboxes serving as something I can see myself returning to for a very long time. Of course, the majority of what you'll be doing in Sniper Elite 5 is underpinned by the incredibly gratifying sniping action. Largely relying on the same mechanics already established in prior installments, Sniper Elite 5's gunplay will feel familiar to series veterans. Elements such as heart rate, wind speed, noise cover to mask gunshots, and bullet drop all function in the same way they did previously. Lowering the difficulty can remove some of the challenges from the sniping as it nullifies the impact of those factors mentioned, but doing so entirely misses the point of Sniper Elite 5 and turns it into a pretty standard shooter. Enjoyed on the higher difficulties, however, it retains that butt-clenching tension that has given the series its identity over the years, and there are still very few moments in gaming that can rival the relief of seeing your bullet make its way towards a target's vital organs in slow motion, safe in the knowledge that you assessed the situation correctly and landed the perfect shot. Of course, your trusty sniper rifle isn't the only firearm at your disposal, with a decent range of sidearms and automatic weapons also becoming available as you progress through the levels. In a welcome change, fully pulling in the left trigger now enables these weapons to be fired in first-person mode, rather than being restricted to third-person, as was the case with the previous entries. It's a welcome change, if only because it makes using these weapons more tolerable and reliable compared to how lackluster they feel to fire in the third person. In another change, there is now a pretty robust weapon customization system available. Each level holds 3 workbenches, and upon interacting with one for the first time, you'll unlock a bevy of attachments that Carl can then use to alter things like the damage, range, and reload speed of his weapons. Truth be told, I didn't tinker with my loadout all that much. I did swap out a few pieces here and there to increase reload speed, and perhaps if I wanted to play in a bit more of a gung-ho fashion, I would have paid more attention to the options available. But, as a player who takes my time to stalk my foes and line up perfect headshots for one-hit kills, I rarely felt like I needed to critically assess my loadout. More impactful is the returning skill tree. As you take out enemies and objectives, Carl will level up via experience and gain access to skill points that can be used, for example, to lessen the speed of his heart rate increasing when performing various actions, or to give him the ability to carry additional equipment such as mines or TNT. If there is one issue that continues